And we're live.
Hello.
Hi.
You identify as a conservative?
I do identify as a conservative, actually, yes.
Do you also identify as a puppet?
No. Why would I identify?
You know what's happening, right?
What?
The white man is sticking his hand in your neck
Okay.
and controlling your mouth. It's like a ventriloquist act, because there is no way that you as a black person would be able to think the way that you do.
Everything you're saying right now sounds really, really ridiculous.
Just because it sounds ridiculous doesn't mean it isn't ridiculous.
Do you want to legitimate these claims?
I would love to legitimate all of the things that you are saying, but I cannot. You are a racist.
And scene. Wow, that was really great. I don't know if you guys thought this wasn't Will and Amala Live. You might have checked into the show today and thought, am I watching MSNBC? And if you did think that, you know what? You're not totally wrong, because this first story is going to legitimate exactly what we've been saying about MSNBC for a very long time, particularly one of their hosts, Reid. She featured a guest on her show yesterday that wanted to talk about Winsome Sears and Winsome Sears' win in Virginia. And he wanted to legitimate the claims that Winsome Sears is, in fact, a puppet of white supremacy. Let's talk about it.
Problem is here, they want white supremacy by ventriloquist effect. There is a black mouth moving, but a white idea through the running on the runway of the tongue of a figure who justifies and legitimates the white supremacist practices. We know that we can internalize in our own minds, in our own subconscious, and in our own bodies, the very principles that are undoing us. So to have a black face speaking in behalf of a white supremacist legacy is nothing new. And it is to the chagrin of those of us who study race that the white folk on the other side and the right wingers on the other side don't understand this is politics 101 and this is race, not even 101. What's beneath 101? It's the pre-K of race. You should understand the fact that if you tell black people, look, I support a Negro. Look, there is a person of color that I am in favor of, and that person of color happens to undermine and undercut and subvert the very principles about which we are concerned, you do yourself no service by pointing to them as an example of your racial progressivism.
Oh, what a clip, man. Because that particular Negro does not support what I think, they are no longer a Negro. They are simply a puppet of the white man. It's unbelievable.
No, you are obviously not black.
I'm obviously not black.
You ain't black, Amala.
You ain't black. If you don't believe what I believe, then you ain't black.
How does it feel to look like me?
I mean, honestly, I don't know. I mean, I guess it feels great. I feel like people don't treat me as if I look like you.
No, they send you a lot more love than
I get a lot more support.
A lot of creepy DMs.
People are a lot nicer to me. Yeah, I have a lot more of the quote unquote simps after me than you do.
That's fine. No, I'm fine with giving that up, relinquishing that.
Oh yeah.
I mean, these people don't want anyone to have a difference of opinion. That's what it really comes down to. The hippies from the 1960s and 70s who are all about free speech. I mean, the people who were in Berkeley in the 1960s talking about free speech, and the civil rights movement, the socialists, all these people who used to be all about free speech. The ACLU, all about free speech. And they were like, hey, if you have an unpopular opinion, you should be allowed to say it. We will die to preserve your right to have freedom of speech. And now it is no longer like that. Now it is, if you have this difference of opinion than somebody else, it needs to be stamped out immediately, because dissent means that they can't control you. If they say, oh, Amala is not white or not black because she says this different thing than all the other black people are supposed to say, then they can control you through that. They can control you through that lens.
And this is not new, particularly for MSNBC. We saw a black female host, I'm forgetting her name, but we covered this story on the show previously, who said the exact same line, that she sees a lot of black faces within the political sphere of influences that are black faces, but not black voices. And this is rhetoric that we are going to continue to hear, because why? We have a lot of black people entering the realm of conservatism or classic liberalism, or at least deviating themselves from the left, whether that means declaring themselves independent or non-politically affiliated. We have a lot of black people leaving the Democratic left and saying, you know what, it doesn't align with my values anymore. And so long as that continues to happen, you will continue to hear this rhetoric. You will continue to hear that we have black faces, but not black voices. I can't say how many times I've had that been told to me.
I know. I see it. You just aren't allowed to say anything that's different. You are not allowed to say anything different from the status quo. I mean, look at the guy James Damore. This isn't even a black guy. I mean, this is James Damore who worked at Google, and he came out and said, "Hey, there are biological differences between men and women." In his memo that he was talking about the culture of working at Google, it got leaked, and then what happens? They fire him for it. They fire him for having a difference of opinion. Right. They want to destroy any sort of dissent. They want total dominion over what you think. And for saying something, I mean, is so obviously true that James Damore said. The things that you say, Amala, the things that we all say, I mean, they seem to be such common sense for people if they just heard it. But you can't have that common sense because that ruins the narrative for these people. They have a narrative that they are pushing. And even when Google fired James Damore, what did they say? They said, we need a culture of places where people feel safe to express their alternative political opinions. It's like that is the exact opposite of what you just did by firing this person.
Yep. And that's what they do is they scapegoat conservatives and say, well, you're the ones who are creating unsafe spaces. You are the ones who are cornering the market when it comes to intellectual discussion, political discussion. That's not the case at all. We're the ones being censored left and right on every single platform, on mainstream media. Nothing that we say gets airtime. And when it does, we get called white supremacists, even though some of us are black, and simply denying the existence of systemic racism or simply not allowing that to be a factor in our lives. And that's what they'll continue to do. They'll see dissident people and they'll label them with white supremacy or transphobic or xenophobic. It's the same words thrown over and over again at people. And again, what does it do to the word? What does it do to the word white supremacist? It means nothing if you call me a white supremacist. It means absolutely nothing.
And they say that we're the dangerous ones. That's the funny part, that we're the ones that are causing a ruckus. Name me a conservative event or a left-wing event that has been destroyed or disrupted by conservatives in recent memory, specifically a college campus one. I have had multiple events of mine destroyed by college leftists. So many other people, Milo Yiannopoulos back in Berkeley, having his event at Berkeley totally destroyed by people throwing Molotov cocktails and breaking windows, committing like over $100,000 worth of damages at UC Berkeley. And you say, we are the ones who are creating this damage. It's like those girls in New York. I forget what their names were, but this was like a couple years ago. These girls in New York, these black girls, and they went to State University of New York in Albany. And they put out a whole statement that they were on this bus and this white mob of people attacked them. Hillary Clinton tweeted her support. The school did like a whole bus type of deal for it, like a whole celebration. And then it comes out later that actually these girls are the ones who started the fight with these white kids. And they said they turned it into a leftist racial issue so that they didn't get in trouble. I mean, to say that conservatives are the one who are starting all these problems, just straight up lie. It's propaganda by people who are trying to pit us against these people. It's just not true.
Yeah, and the side that labels people because of the way that they look, because of the way that they associate, because of their gender, their sexual orientation, the side that says because you are this, you must think this, is not systemically oppressive. That's not systemically racist to look at a black person and say, oh, well, because I'm looking at your outward appearance, you should believe this and you should say this. Is that not systemically racist? Can somebody...
They're racist. The left are the real racists.
You know what I mean. You know what I mean. You are perpetuating the exact narrative that you claim to run from, separating young black kids into affinity groups from their white peers, ranking people by power and privilege, telling people that you have to use compelled speech when it comes to pronouns. You are the ones oppressing people and changing the culture. You're certainly not the counterculture.
No, they are not. I mean, they are in charge of all of the major institutions. I mean, how can they say that this world is full of all these oppressive people when they are in charge of all the institutions? You won't find leftists, you can talk to leftists, they're going to say, yeah, the universities are controlled by the left, the mainstream media, Hollywood, like it's obvious. These people are leftists who are in control of these things. How can you say that you have this institutional racism and all of this when these things are all controlled by the left? It just doesn't make sense. What these major institutions forget about, because these institutions like Hollywood, mainstream media, bureaucracy in Washington, the universities, they are all at this higher level, this higher level that they say is a higher level, right? The middle class, the working class people in America, they're seen as the lesser people. That is what this is all about. It is a destruction of the middle class and the working classes of America. The people want to say that they're better than you. They know more about race than you. You have to think this certain way. Otherwise, you will be classified as one of these lower people. It is entirely a war of these elitists versus normal America. That's why these elections went the way that they did. because these elitists were trying to get away with pitting us against each other and saying that, you know, these people are all wrong and it's because of white supremacy and racism and stuff. But people just aren't buying it anymore. People aren't buying it anymore, and they're understanding that there's a bigger thing at play here.
Yep. And if you're a young person, let's say high school, college, or a young professional below the age of 35, and you're not buying it either, and you want to meet other people who refuse to buy the narrative that's happening right now, you can join PragerFORCE. I'll show you PragerU.com/community. Also, if you're a parent or a teacher, an educator watching this right now, we have multiple communities aligned with PragerU and our values that you can go and join. So young people, click on PragerFORCE, click join community, and you can sign up to join a digital community of like-minded individuals. And if you're a parent or educator who's looking for resources for your children, great kids shows, great kids magazines, or you just want to meet other like-minded parents and educators, join our prep community for $25 a year. Also, Taylor's here today. He's just in his little producer's bay.
Yeah, it's been interesting trying to switch the cameras and stuff, but fun times.
Back to the old grind.
Back to the old grind.
Back to the old grind, and you'll
Hot
hear
Scott,
him.
where are you when we need you?
I know. Where is Hot
He's out
Scott when you
doing
need
hot
him?
stuff.
He is out doing hot stuff, editing videos. Taylor will chime in time and time again to give us the facts of the matter.
I'll pepper in the insights.
He will pepper in the insights for you
Sprinkle them.
guys.
Of which.
Of which he deems fit. Now, we have a hot story right now. I believe this is still trending #1 on Twitter, and that is Aaron Rodgers on the Pat McAfee show talking about NFL COVID-19 restrictions, which we will get into, and his personal choice to not be vaccinated under the mandates that the NFL is currently trying to push. Let's get into this interview.
Like what we have been able to, I don't want to say build with you in your incredible, just how nice you are with your time with us every single Tuesday. People have learned a lot about you through this show, and I'm very thankful for that. Every Tuesday, I think a lot of thoughts were potentially changed about you. People that once thought something about you changed after hearing you speak. So whenever all of this information came out, there was a lot of haters out there, obviously, that immediately started burying you, but there was a lot of people that listened to you on Tuesdays that say, hey, he's actually an incredibly deep person, an incredibly intelligent person, somebody that you would actually like. There has to be reasons for everything that we're hearing about right now. So I appreciate you so much for this incredible honor that we have to potentially allow you to have a platform and a floor to explain your side of this whole thing. And I can't wait to hear it. We're incredibly lucky for it. The floor is yours, Mr. Rodgers.
Thank you, buddy.
Good water drink. It's going to be a long one.
I realize I'm in the crosshairs of the woke mob right now. So before my final nail gets put in my cancel culture casket, I think I'd like to set the record straight on so many of the blatant lies that are out there about myself right now. And I appreciate the opportunity to tell my side of the story on here. First of all, I didn't lie in the initial press conference. During that time, it was a very, witch hunt that was going on across the league, where everybody in the media was so concerned about who was vaccinated and who wasn't, and what that meant, and who was being selfish, and who would talk about it, and what it meant if they said it's a personal decision. They shouldn't have to disclose their own medical information and whatnot. And at the time, my plan was to say that I've been immunized. It wasn't some sort of ruse or lie, it was the truth. And I'll get into the whole immunization in a second. But had there been a follow-up to my statement that I've been immunized, I would have responded with this. I would have said, look, I'm not, some sort of anti-vax flat earther. I am somebody who's a critical thinker. You guys know me. I march to the beat of my own drum. I believe strongly in bodily autonomy and the ability to make choices for your body, not to have to acquiesce to some woke culture or crazed, group of individuals who say you have to do something. Health is not.
I'm going to go ahead and pause right there for a second. We will get to the rest of the video, but how insane is it that this video is going viral? This has 1 million views now for him saying, I believe in bodily autonomy, and not bowing down to a mob of people who tell you otherwise.
It's a radical thing to think. Be a critical thinker.
So radical. So radical to say, I think I should be able to make my own medical decisions and that no institution or system or group of people should be able to mandate that I have to do otherwise. How radical.
Shouldn't be allowed to even say it. That's how radical. It should be banned from the internet.
And even with how reasonable he is and how mildly tempered he is, he's still getting pushback for this interview and the things that he says. But let's get into it, because so far, nothing has been unreasonable.
A one-size-fits-all for everybody. And for me, it involved a lot of study in the off-season, much like the study I put into hosting Jeopardy or the weekly study I put into playing in the game. I put a lot of time and energy and research and met with a lot of different people in the medical field to get the most information about the vaccines before making a decision. And in actuality, it was pretty easy in the beginning to eliminate 2 of them. And it didn't involve going into the questionable history of some of their criminal activities and fraud cases or any of that stuff. It was simply the fact that I have an allergy to an ingredient that's in the mRNA vaccines. So on the CDC's own website, it says, should you have an allergy to any of the ingredients, you should not get one of the mRNA vaccines. So those 2 were out already. So my only option was Johnson & Johnson. At this time, in the early spring, I had heard of multiple people who had had adverse events around getting the J&J. Nothing that was no deaths or anything, but just some really difficult times and physical abnormalities around the J&J shot. And then in mid-April, the J&J shot got pulled for clotting issues, if you remember that, right?
Let's pause there. I think an interesting point is brought up in this interview that doesn't get fleshed out enough, or I think is not talked about enough when it comes to vaccines and vaccine mandates, is that health is not one size fits all. If we viewed the vaccine, I believe you were watching a video earlier, Taylor, about a doctor testifying about this. If we changed the word vaccine to the word drug when we were having discussions about what's happening right now, everybody would have a vastly different viewpoint than the sort of collective mandate groupthink that we're seeing right now.
Yeah, that doctor in question, he was saying that up until, what was it, January or March of 2021 or 2020, the Merriam-Webster's dictionary had a different definition of what vaccine is, and they changed it, and what anti-vaxxer is, and they literally changed it just so that the new mRNA vaccines would be included in that. And yeah, that totally ties into the one-size-fits-all approach that he's talking to, because they're trying to fit everything under that one umbrella and say, you must do this, you must get this broad thing that is the vaccine that will fix all the problems.
Right.
The truth doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what the truth is. It only matters what their agenda is. So if it hurts people and it causes blood clots or whatever else it is, doesn't matter it doesn't matter. All that matters is that they force their will on everyone.
Imagine if a separate drug, even the most benign drug you could think of, let's say Benadryl, omeprazole, something like that, even if that was the case and they said, you know what, everybody in America needs to take this drug, there would be a lot of people questioning that because the language is different. But no, they've convinced you that this is all for health and safety and that everybody in the world, let alone just in the United States, needs to get this particular drug in order to lead a successful, healthy life and to not be a second-class citizen in America. And that's simply not the case. I say this over and over on this show. I worked in medicine before I was working here at PragerU. I specifically worked in allergy, immunology, and asthma, which is extremely pertinent to COVID-19. I can't tell you the amount of patients that came to our clinic to see me and the doctor during flu season to talk about the efficacy of the flu shot for them. People with severe allergic reactions and adverse reactions to these types of vaccines. Yet the discussion does not seem to be privy when it comes to COVID-19 because we completely masked ourselves and entrenched ourselves in propaganda and ideology.
Yeah, if it wasn't for that, then the flu shot would be mandated for people. You would have to get the flu shot. I mean, if you're a young person in this country, you have a better chance of dying from the flu than you do of COVID-19. And it's like not even close. But the flu shot isn't mandated for children. Why is the COVID-19 vaccine about to be mandated for children? It's already mandated for children going to school in Los Angeles for 12 to 18-year-olds. And they want to do it for 5 to 11-year-olds in San Francisco. You're not allowed to go into a restaurant now, being anywhere from 5 to 11 without being unvaccinated. They've updated the rules. So why is that?
Yeah.
Think about these things.
Why, guys? Let's finish up this interview.
Huh?
So the J&J shot was not even an option at that point. So then my options became, okay, what can I do to protect myself and my teammates if there's not one of the big three options for me in my own body? And so I looked into and talked again to a lot of medical individuals and professionals, and found that there was an immunization protocol that I could go to best protect myself and my teammates. And it was a long-term protocol that involved, multiple months. And I'm very, proud of the research that went into that. The individuals that I met with, and we felt like it was what was best for me. It was not, again, something that the league didn't know about. The league was fully aware of it upon my return to the Packers, and it was at that point that I petitioned them to accept my immunization status as under their vaccination protocol. Now, at the time, they had only had the big three was what they're going to do, and if you weren't in the vaccinated category, you were in a different category, which involved some draconian measures and protocols that you would have to adhere to, which in my opinion were not based on science. Were more based in a shame-based environment to try and get as many guys to get vaccinated as possible so that the league looks better to the rest of the world. That was the focus of these protocols, which I'll get into when I finish this diatribe here.
There we go. So that's what Aaron Rodgers had to say. There is a 3-hour episode where he's talking all about this on Pat McAfee show. You can go and check it out. But I think we're going to see the tides again changing with people like this, people so prevalent, so articulate and well-tempered and simplistic in the way that they communicate why they've made this choice, coming to the forefront, getting on these shows and talking to the American people about why they've made the choices that they've made. And we've seen some interesting characters come out and talk about what Aaron Rodgers has said on the Pat McAfee show. One by the name of Stephen A., an ESPN commentator who came out and actually questioned something, because we all know Stephen A. is very pro-vaccine mandate. He's the ESPN version of Shut Up and Dribble, which we heard from Laura Ingraham when talking about the NBA players who decided not to get vaccinated. But he came out and said, you know what we should really be questioning is the NFL, because the NFL was well aware of the fact that Aaron Rodgers was not vaccinated against COVID-19, yet still allowed him to be with the players en masse, still allowed him to play the game. So who is really showing hypocrisy here? Where is the true story here? Where is the truth when it comes to the narrative around vaccine mandates?
It seems Stephen A., that's the wrong question to ask. I mean, it's kind of the right question, but
it is.
Why does he care so much? That's like the big problem. It's like, why does he care so much? Why does he care so much that Aaron Rodgers isn't vaccinated? Like, why does that matter to you? Why do you care? Like, I don't get it. I don't care about anyone else if you're vaccinated. You can do whatever the hell you want. I could care less whatever you do, okay? Except for people in my family. But like people who are outside there, I do not care whatsoever. You can go do whatever you want. I don't get why other people think that they get to have a say in someone else's life and say, oh, I need to know about this and know who you're talking to and know what you're doing in your personal life. How strange is that? How sick is that? That is a sick world. And the fact that people get off on that and think like, oh, I'm righteous for thinking that is wild. That is craziness.
Right. Yeah, and just to underscore that point, this week it's been wall-to-wall coverage on ESPN and even elsewhere, CNN, just anywhere in sports media and even beyond that, about Aaron Rodgers and his vaccination status. And they're calling him a liar, and they're saying what a terrible person he is for going places and not wearing a mask and following all the draconian protocols that Rodgers rightly criticized as not being based in science. But there's another thing that happened in the NFL this week with another player that should be much more in focus, and that is a wide receiver for the Las Vegas Raiders by the name of Henry Ruggs. He's a superstar, has been having a great year. Got drunk the other night, and I think earlier this week, like Monday or over the weekend, and was twice over the legal limit and was driving his Corvette over 150 miles an hour and got into a crash and killed someone. And I was listening to I'm a Vikings fan and I listen to a Vikings podcast. And I was listening to it the other day, and toward the front of the show, all about Aaron Rodgers, how irresponsible he's being, how terrible it was, like 20 minutes of just like, what a terrible guy. And then at the very end of the show, it was like, oh, and by the way, this guy happened to get drunk and he killed someone. But this is just such a sad situation, and it's such a tragedy. And we should really, and he was like spinning it as like a mental health issue. And it's like, it was just so sad that he felt like he needed to live this lifestyle and not reach out to someone. And I was like, are you kidding me right now? This guy killed somebody, and we're more worried about have our undies in a wad over Aaron Rodgers' vaccination status, which is none of your business. Yep. And you're more worried about harping on the NFL's crazy rules that have nothing to do with science. And you're like, well, why didn't you just obey the rules? Blah, 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 blah. It's like, no one's ever talking about how crazy these rules are, that like NFL players who are unvaccinated are like second-class citizens. The same thing that they're doing in LA right now, where you're not allowed to ride with your team on the bus. You're not allowed to travel with the team. You're not allowed to leave the hotel when you go to a different city. Yep. You're not even allowed to use the pool at the hotel. If you go to the gym with your teammates, only a certain number of them can come. It's all of these like shame-based tactics like Rodgers is talking about. And if we're going to talk about Aaron Rodgers, that's the spin we should be talking about, is the how insane these measures are and imposing, and how nonsensical they are. Not about what a terrible guy he is, especially when in the same week someone else literally killed someone, and the coverage is basically nowhere to be found in comparison. I know, it's like, don't ask. It's like you were just talking about, like the questions that people are asking. It's like, oh, let's not ask why he didn't comply. Let's ask why these things are in place in the first place. Why are they happening? Why do we have these rules in the NFL? Why do we have these rules in Los Angeles? Why do we have these rules anywhere? Why do we have them? And that story about the Ruggs going and killing that person, I mean, it's tragic. But that type of story doesn't make these people feel righteous when they talk about it. Yeah. They don't have any sort of moral play themselves to get off to other people to show like, oh, I'm a good person for saying about this. There is nothing like that when you're talking about this drunk driving incident. There's nothing that's going to make you feel morally superior to other people. So it doesn't sell ratings. All they want to do is shame people. It's so sad to see the world this way.
My hope is no matter where you fall on the spectrum of this, you're going to hear the story of what Aaron Rodgers went through in this case. You're going to hear how the NFL responded to him, allowing him to still do this. And like I said, even though Stephen A. did not ask the right question, he asked, why did the NFL allow him? It's going to lead him down a rabbit hole of looking into the information around this. And if that rabbit hole eventually leads to the truth that vaccine mandates are wrong, then albeit you go on your own journey for that. Everybody has to go through their own journey and ask their particular set of questions to find out what's true in regard to this. So the fact that he's even admitted, hey, I'm questioning what's happening right now, kudos to you, because that's at least progress in some respect with what he's been saying recently. That's how I view it. Now, let's go through, Taylor mentioned very briefly some of the restrictions for NFL players who choose to be unvaccinated. I want to really give you the list here of the protocols so you feel the full scope. Unvaccinated players must keep a distance at 6 feet from other players inside team facilities, and lockers must be 6 feet apart as well, with plexiglass dividers if possible. Media have not been given access to locker rooms as part of the COVID-19 protocols this season. Mind you, these are the healthiest individuals in our society competing on the world stage. Let's see. Weight room capacity is limited to 15 players when any unvaccinated player is present, and unvaccinated athletes must wear masks even when actively training.
Well, you know that if you have 15 people in a room and then you add 16, then everyone dies of COVID.
Exactly.
So that's how it works.
Exactly.
I'm
immediately.
surprised you don't know that.
I mean, we learn new things every day.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Amala just learned what the NFL is today.
Anyways, unvaccinated players are not permitted to participate in any in-person meetings at the facility. Unvaccinated players are prohibited from gathering in groups of more than 3 team-affiliated individuals outside the team facility, those in one of 3 tiers outlined by the NFL, or during travel, including training activities, unless otherwise approved by the NFL or the NFLPA.
Why are they so stupid? How do you get so dumb? I don't get it. How are you so dumb? There's no studies that show that putting plexiglass in front of people or around people stops COVID-19. Like, you think that I'm at the gas station and I'm going to give the guy $20? I have my dirty money that I'm giving the guy, which my hands were all over. We're touching hands as I'm doing it. But, oh, he's got this plexiglass thing that's really going to help him stay safe from... There is no data to back these things up. It is all just stupid nonsense.
It's like the people who wear face shields.
Exactly.
With no mask or anything.
I know. I'm like, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
The people who show up in literal hazmat suits at the airport. I'm like, that's not how the virus works. Like, what are you doing? Who hurt you?
Wokeism has paired itself with health, unfortunately, in our country. And now people carry with their woke religion, this religion that is consistent with the protocols against COVID-19 or whatever. And it's just insane.
I know. I just don't get how so many people can be so dumb. And I think there's a problem. I think there's a problem with the right and conservatives, that when this stuff with COVID started happening, or when some of the stuff with even like police shootings and things happen, and eventually the truth comes out, right? And we find out that it's not what they say, that the mainstream media is lying. These people are lying about whatever the situation is. At the beginning, as soon as something happens, the right always uses the same language as the left. They always use the same language as the left because I think that the right, the main people on the right, are too scared of saying something that's different until they've kind of heard other people's opinions on it. And then once things might flesh out a little bit, then they might say something more. But we are getting into a lot of these situations because people on the right, when something happens, like putting up plexiglass around stupid gas stations or whatever, around NFL team that does nothing, or any of these other restrictions that they're talking about that do literally nothing. When it first starts, we're like, oh, that's kind of safe. And then we find the truth. And it's like, well, now it's too late. We already said it at the beginning. It's like, before saying anything, I think we need to take a better look at anything that happens from now on and understand, like, these people are all liars. They're liars and they're stupid.
Yeah. Or at the very least, when the research is out and when the facts are obvious, then we need to come all the more forcefully out with the truth and be like, okay, we're not putting up with this nonsense anymore.
Yeah. Right.
And I think the truth is, I mean, it's encouraging to see someone like Aaron Rodgers come out and have done all this research, and he's in a position where he has a lot of influence. And like, who sounds crazy here? Does he sound like a crazy anti-vaxxer, or do the people who are crazily saying you must comply with these baseless restrictions and you must do all the things that we're telling you to do, and are they providing nuanced reasons and a mountain of research of their opinions? No. Rodgers is calmly sitting there laying out all of his reasons and all the research he's done. Yep. And it seems, it's like, which one of these two sides seems more logical? But
and go into Twitter and read the replies. People are going crazy. Mm-hmm. They're like, oh, well, he's taking horse medicine. I'm like, shut up, man. It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating to see people be so dumb.
Oh, yeah. People have signed on to a narrative.
Icing on the cake right now, too, is I think that you might be able to pull this up, Amala, but Charles Blow, the New York Times columnist, I sent you guys this tweet the other day, but he tweeted this map of the U.S. and showing where all the cases are happening around the U.S. And basically the South is like between 10 and 30 per 100,000 people per week. And everywhere else in the country is a lot weaker. And he says, I am mystified by how these southern states have gotten such low rates of COVID when their governors haven't followed the CDC guidance.
Yep, here's the map for you guys if you'd like to take a look at it.
So see his commentary up there on the top right corner.
Yep.
Mystified by how these southern states have such low rates of COVID and this is a New York Times super lib woke columnist, and he's putting this out there and people were like, you think?
Yeah. Someone please explain this to me is how he ends it. It's very easily explained. You've been lied to. That's at the very base of it, what has happened here. And states like Florida and Texas are doing well because they did not submit to propaganda and fear mongering.
Listen, I get everyone wants to help people. Okay? We all want to help people. We want people to be safe. We don't want people to die of a disease. I get that. But let's just be smart. Okay? Let's actually look at things and not just take things at face value and say, how can we actually find out the real solutions for this? Because as of now, we have done 1,000 stupid things for every single smart thing that we've done, and now we're in this mess that we're literally never going to get out of. It's never going to end, ever. I mean, now they're saying that we have had people who are triple vaxxed in this country, and now they're coming out and saying, well, now you need a fourth one. How many do you need? How many do you need? Like, come on.
And make sure you stock your cabinet with that new Pfizer pill.
Exactly. And then you have that. It's like, what? Come on. Like, how many stupid things do we have to do? When is this going to end? It's never going to end. It's only going to end if we say no to all the stupidness and all the nonsense. And when someone tries to push you into a corral and say you have to do this, be like Aaron Rodgers and say, no, This is stupid.
Yeah. And come with the facts, too.
Come with the facts. Yep. Research it and be knowledgeable about it.
And here is yet another battle that we fight against that doesn't seem to go anywhere because not enough people are coming out against it. The headline here is involving the Boy Scouts now. Boy Scouts announced new critical race theory requirement. So essentially what has happened here, and Will is going to give his 2 cents on this as an honorary Eagle Scout.
Only 2 cents? I feel like I could give a whole nickel.
Well, we only have time for 2 cents on this one, but I want to go through this article in particular and talk about what the Boy Scouts is doing. You'll hear the narrative on the left on any mainstream media platform that you enter that critical race theory is simply a law theory. It is not being taught in schools. It is not in our institutions. It is not in our corporations. It is not in groups like the Boy Scouts. But here's what's happening with the Boy Scouts. They've now released a new merit badge entitled Citizenship in Society. Now, the citizenship in is not new to the Boy Scouts. They have a citizenship in the world, citizenship in the nation, citizenship in the community. But this new citizenship in the society is focused around ethical reasoning. And although it doesn't say it explicitly, largely based in critical race theory, talking about how there is a notable lack of conversation in race, gender, white privilege, and oppression. And it dictates a critical race theory framework.
The citizenship in the nation and community and world, when I was going through Boy Scouts, those are Eagle required badges, and I got them. And they were great merit badges. They teach you about how government works. They teach you about how bills get passed. They teach you how to get involved in local politics. They teach you how world economy kind of works in the community in the world. They're great. Citizenship in the world. They're great. They're great merit badges. I implore anyone who's just maybe even a normal person to read just even the pamphlets for them, because they're actually they're good for your kids. I mean, at least they used to be. I don't know exactly how they changed them now, but this new community or citizenship in the society is all just woke pandering. I mean, it's woke pandering to the highest degree, and it's always shrouded. All these things, you'll see any organization, like Google or Facebook or Boy Scouts or some movie company or the government, they will always say, no, this isn't political. This is about making a safe space for all sorts of diverse political opinions or for all sorts of people of any different background or whatever. It's like, that's not what you're doing. You are not doing that. You are pushing a woke agenda. These new merit badge, the things that they're focusing on in the parent handbook are literally from the SPLC, the Southern Poverty Law Center, which is a cancerous organization. And then you have things about, indigenous people being queer and stuff like that. It's so dumb. It's so... There's so much dumb stuff today that we have to talk about. It's just so much... Oh, geez. And it's... The Boy Scouts, for one, when it comes to Native Americans and Indians and all that, the Boy Scouts have had a long history of working with Native Americans. Okay, if you're familiar with the Boy Scouts, you'll know the Order of the Arrow. Oh, I was a member of the Order of the Arrow, and it's kind of like an elevated, almost not club that you get into, but another program within the Boy Scouts that you can get into if you're doing well as a Boy Scout while you're still in your teens. And it's like that is heavily influenced by Indian Native American culture. I mean, they go hand in hand. There's a lot of stuff with that. There's a lot of stuff within the Boy Scouts. To think that the Boy Scouts or young boys going in need some sort of lesson about Native American culture when so much of the Boy Scouts is focused on that already and has a high reverence for that culture is just vile. I mean, it's only to brainwash people into their woke mob. You have taken everything that makes the Boy Scouts, leadership, masculinity, becoming a man, how to work in a community, how to help people. All these different things, you are destroying them for sacrificing it for a woke agenda.
And if you're thinking, well, I just looked into this citizenship in the society merit badge, and I don't see anything about critical race theory in it, let's take a deep dive and give some context around how critical race theory is involved in this new merit badge. Now, what they do is they say that this merit badge is technically subjective to the person who is leading that particular group of Boy Scouts. So they get to sort of lead the conversation around it. However, if you need resources for dictating how this merit badge is presented to the children, they have a resource called All of My Relations. It's a podcast, and they have episodes featuring decolonizing sex, celebrating indigenous peoples, not Columbus, and indigiqueer. Flag folding is last year. This is now going to focus on Native Americans, the LGBTQ experience, and sexual experiences for not just young boys, because if we remember, the Boy Scouts now allows girls, which is
I had a friend
even better.
Last night, actually. I won't reveal where, but went to a Boy Scout event actually in another city, not in California, but in another city. And the keynote speaker at this event was a woman. It was a girl. It was a girl scout. I mean, not a Girl Scout. It was a girl Boy Scout. It's really disappointing. Okay? I have nothing against women. All right? I love women.
We have Girl Scouts.
Well, not even that. I don't care if you have the Girl Scouts. This is the Boy Scouts. You can go start your own different club. If you don't like the Girl Scouts, fine. Some people say Girl Scouts is not great and that's why they want to join the Boy Scouts. I get that. Go start some new. Just don't ruin the Boy Scouts, okay? It's about creating young men, young American men. It's Boy Scouts of America, BSA, creating young men who hold American values true. On my honor, I'll do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. And now you have to say morally woke and then mentally straight.
There you go.
That's what they want it to be. They want to change everything that the Boy Scouts is actually about. It's disgusting.
And they're not going to tell you this up front. I want to point out this last thing that the article stipulates. Here's the quote. Under one of the answers on the FAQ page of this Boy Scouts merit badge, there is a line that says, quote, use only if pressed, reactive only, before listing ways in which the organization is promoting diversity, equity, and inclusion, including offering diversity and inclusion training for BSA employees and volunteers, and reviewing property names, events, and insignia in partnership with local councils to ensure that symbols of oppression are not in use today or in the future. So essentially, these BSA employees, the person leading your Boy Scout troop, is not going to tell you anything about diversity, inclusion, or inclusion, only if pressed.
I forget what it's called. If you guys are in the Boy Scouts or know anything about it, it's testing my memory. But there's already training for adults within the Boy Scouts. It's called like Wood badge, something like that. I forget what it's called, but there is a training for adults in the Boy Scouts, and it's great. And I think you can get the Silver Beaver. I think that's what it is. I could be off right now. It's been a while since I've been in the Boy Scouts, but there is already training for leadership and how to talk to young boys and all this kind of stuff that is already ingrained into the Boy Scouts. We don't need more. What we need is going back to traditionalism, okay? We need to go back to tradition. We need to go back to what Lord Baden-Powell said and all about the Boy Scouts and why he founded that organization in the first place. You're destroying it. You're destroying it. And I will not be sending my boys to Boy Scouts. Maybe I'll put my boys in Girl Scouts just to prove a point.
Maybe they'll have a better experience there.
I don't know.
I mean, there's an increasing need for resources for children, and PragerU recognizes that. That's why we have PragerU.com/kids, where you can find different content, TBH history, Leo and Layla, cartoons for your children, digital magazines for your children, and actually physical books. We have a new physical book out now called Otto's Tales, where you can follow our cartoon Dennis and our animated Otto. And this one is focused around Veterans Day. So you can purchase that on Amazon.com. Here's the page here for $9.99 for the paperback version. Get a physical book, a little PragerU memorabilia for you and your family to give your kids the right values, because the school's not going to do that anymore. Public schooling systems are not going to do that anymore. Mainstream media is not doing it anymore. Cartoons aren't doing it anymore. And the Boy Scouts aren't doing it anymore.
No, they are most definitely not.
Now, guys, it is Friday, which means fun.
Which means it's Friday. The weekend.
Which means, yes, the weekend is coming, but also it's Fun Friday. It's Fun Friday. And because we are live for technically the first time this week, since we've been moving setups and getting internet and all that fun stuff, we want you to interact in our Fun Friday. So we're going to play some Jackbox games. And you, if you're watching on a laptop right now or a cell phone, grab another device and get ready to play some games.
I'm ready.
Are you ready?
Maybe we should just play the Quiplash one. We could do the drawing one.
We'll play Quiplash.
It takes longer.
That'll be fine. So guys, get your smartphones out and get ready to play Jackbox games alongside
You go to jackbox.tv.
and I.
But yeah.
Yes.
You go to jackbox.tv and then you can join our game, right? You can join our game and then you can vote on the answers, right?
Yes.
Right.
But we need to start the game ourselves first, so that we don't have a million people in there.
And we're going to play a game called Drawful. That's what we'll be playing with you guys today. There's no Quibbage on here today.
Oh.
So we're going to be playing a game called Drawful. You guys get to vote alongside us, and we'll get it started. As soon as I have a code for you guys are going to go on your smartphones to jackbox.tv. That is jackbox.tv. Will and I and Taylor are getting set up here so that we can play and you guys can play alongside us. So again, get your smartphones out and go to jackbox.tv. And
I'll start the music. I'll turn that up for us.
perfect.
You guys look so dutifully entering.
I know. There we go. Okay, I'm entered. I have to draw a picture of myself for you guys that are watching. It's going to be horrendous since I'm drawing it on my phone.
Join.
That is
I drew
horrible.
myself too.
Wow, that is a great photo of me. And I'm entered.
Taylor's entered.
Taylor's getting entered. So yeah, you guys, we're gonna have to draw some photos. We're gonna see who's the true artist among the three of us.
Well, it's obviously not you. It's obviously me.
It is very
Everybody's
difficult.
in.
Everybody's in.
Now let's make it public. Here we go. There we go.
There. This
Alright.
is Drawful. Just 3 players, huh? Well, the upside
Just
of
3
not having
players,
many
huh?
Friends is that you'll each get to draw more times.
And so now
We're
everyone
in
can
enough
enter,
jibber-jabber.
right?
Let's
Yep.
play.
NVJT.
Okay.
NVJT if
Go
you want to join the room.
jackbox.tv and then you type in
Like City
NVJT and then you can
Lion
vote.
or Fargo. Draw a picture on your device that would have that title,
Okay,
and
so
when you're
Will,
done,
Amala, and I
hit
are
send,
drawing
and you'll get
our
points for
drawings
each
now.
player
Yeah, and
that
then you
can
guys can
correctly
come in and
guess
you can
your
vote
title.
on the drawings,
So,
okay?
just
Well, you're
try
on
your
camera
best.
permanently so everyone can see you.
Okay, well, I'll be sure to be safe.
NVJT, guys. And we have to draw as fast as we can. It's very difficult. Mine is already in. I'm the fastest so far, so look at me, guys. Oh, Will's in.
I'm in, baby.
And you guys are
It's all
joining as
down to
well.
me.
It's all down to Taylor, like
It's all down to
usual.
T-Dog.
I think mine is going to really fool the masses.
Is it?
Well, I don't know about that, but I would like to think so.
Let's see how good we are at this. Okay.
The code is
What
in the
is
top right
this?
corner, NVJT.
NVJT, guys, go to jackbox.tv, type in NVJT.
Players into thinking it's the title. You'll get
Okay.
points for every player that picks your answer.
So right now we're putting in prompts for what we think this is.
It's obvious if you just look at it.
I think it's quite interesting. We're putting in prompts. Will and Taylor and I are guessing what we think it is.
45.
And then you guys will be able to vote.
Here are your choices. Now
people
pick the
in? How do you
title
know if
think
people are in?
Really inspired this drawing.
Oh, they're saying the game's full.
How?
I don't know.
Can you not vote on this one like you can on the other ones? You
Maybe
should
not.
be able to.
Taylor's
Here's
going to win.
everybody's
Thank you.
picks.
Yes, I am.
That's my point.
Prison shit.
There we go.
I got that right.
The prompt they gave
I
was
wrote it.
prison
I
shit.
drew it very well.
Defend yourself in prison.
That does not look like a ship.
Oh, sorry. It's not. Have you been in prison? I have.
Oh, who's winning right now? Definitely me.
All right. Well, Taylor's still losing. So. I am
And now
Amala's dad.
this. Type in a convincing title now.
It is Amala.
So Will and Taylor are trying to guess what this is. They're typing in their title now. It's a very interesting drawing. You guys can put your guesses down below in the chat. What do you think this is?
I think I got this one. I think
Okay.
it's all
Okay,
me.
here are your choices.
What is it, guys? Is it a sad bald clown, a depressed clown, bitter candy, or GPS?
GPS. If it's GPS, whoever drew that is terrible.
What did everybody pick?
What did you guys pick? Amala's
Got it.
dad.
Oh, Will, your name is Amala's dad? I just caught that.
Yeah.
Ooh, the
I'm not
actual
trying to
answer was
forget
bitter
any of this
candy.
ever happened.
You drew that?
I drew that.
That
because look,
sucked.
he's sad and there's a candy beneath him. It
That
was
wasn't a
bitter
candy. That was a bow.
No, it's candy. Like you
No,
unwrap
that was
it.
a bow.
It's
That was
bitter
or a bow
candy.
tie.
I'm winning.
No, that
so
was a terrible.
It's
You have to
fantastic.
try, Amala.
That is not a bow tie. That looks like candy.
Enter
You
your
have to
title
try.
How else would you
now.
draw candy? Oh wait, what is
Like a
this?
Snickers.
First of all, you're not allowed to put letters in this game. Whoever drew this, I think this was you, Will.
No, I didn't try this.
Yeah, Will, what is wrong with you?
Wait, what does that even?
What does that even
C plus
say?
G. This one's the worst. Jeez. C plus G
Dancing.
person.
I don't think, no, people couldn't join, so we'll have to play something else next.
Okay. What is C plus G?
I have no idea.
That's not a G. I mean, it doesn't look like a G. I don't know who drew it.
You guys put your guesses down below for what you think this is in the chat on YouTube. What do you think this is?
Here are your choices.
What?
Taylor, this was one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life.
I think I nailed this.
I'm so confused. Okay, I hope I got this right. You guys put your guesses down below. Oh, you're so random decoy.
Oh, wow.
Will, you voted for the random decoy.
That's just embarrassing. Yay!
Oh my gosh, I'm killing it.
Amala gives me points when she guesses what I drew.
Right.
So thank you very much, Amala.
Dang it.
Is that C plus G for like CeeLo Green?
I have no idea.
I
It
don't
wasn't
know
a
what-
G. I
So
just
bad.
I drew a person.
Maybe if
with
you
an
guys
arrow.
didn't suck at drawing, I could
Oh, but look
actually
at how well I'm
get
doing.
more points.
You're just sad because you're losing.
As I speak, get
no.
ready to draw them.
Okay, we're drawing, guys. Hopefully Will won't be mad at us because he's losing this one.
I'm sorry that you guys' drawings suck.
Oh, poor baby. Poor baby.
I'm so good at this.
Very difficult to draw. This is hilarious. This is horrible. This is horrible. And I used to be an AP art major. If you guys saw my AP art portfolio, you would be very impressed. But I'm drawing with my finger here.
Easy.
This
Done.
is very difficult. Taylor is always the slowpoke.
Whatever. I was like 2 seconds behind you. Get over it.
Let's take a look.
Okay, let's take a
All right,
look,
whose
guys.
drawing is here first?
And our next weird
Okay. Doom, 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 doom.
What do y'all think this is?
with a hat?
Got it. Doom, 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 doom.
Queasy's like,
Place
I
your
just joined
guesses
and I
right.
see this. What the heck's going on?
We are playing a game.
choices.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Den Money, I will try not to
Okay.
let you down.
Whoever put narwhal didn't even spell narwhal.
Okay, I
right.
did it and I spelled it wrong. I hit the wrong button.
Norwal.
And then I already submitted it. And I would have
here
gotten it
are your
right.
picks.
If it wasn't for you meddling
Who wrote
kids.
Jaundice? Oh, yeah.
Oh, actual
That
title.
means I get a
This
ton
was
of
going to be
points.
Shark Hat, but then we thought, let's make it even harder.
Y'all
Okay.
Great job.
Good job,
guys.
Taylor.
Great job, me.
That was a good drawing, Taylor.
That was a good
I'm probably
drawing.
winning now.
I don't think you're winning yet. I think I'm still winning.
Amanda says,
oh, we're
Will,
tied.
don't sulk when you lose.
I'm not sulking. I'm
Stop
angry.
being a big baby,
Will
Will.
always. He's the worst loser. Queasy's proud of me. Thank you.
The creation of life.
Doom, 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 doom,
Shark Witch, people were guessing.
doom, doom.
It was a good.
Guys, guess down below. What do you think this is? This is horrible.
Hey!
Will's in. Will has entered his guess.
I'm in.
He's in.
Okay, here are your choices.
What is going on here?
What is going on? What is it, guys? Did you guys guess?
All right, who picked what?
Let's go.
Dang it.
Worm party.
Worm party.
That was actually funny.
Hey.
Nothing I like
Actual
more than a
title.
good worm
You know, like the
party.
expression.
Gross.
Too many eels.
You're gross.
All right.
Okay, who's winning?
How's the positions here?
Oh, Taylor. Oh, wait. Okay, I'm winning still. I'm still winning.
I'm still in last.
I'm still winning.
And now,
Oh,
People were
okay.
saying bacon. It looked like bacon.
This one's easy. I'm so good at these drawings.
Because you get easy ones over and over. Okay. I guessed.
What even is a Dutch
what did
oven?
everybody pick?
A Dutch oven is
we
a
used to
really
use Dutch
large,
ovens in Boy Scouts.
it's a really large pot.
Huh, I didn't
No,
expect
it's not what it is.
everybody to
Yeah,
get that one
Dutch
right.
ovens are like the little
Hot
pots
pot
that are
soup.
like ceramic and like super thick.
I tricked a bunch of y'all in the audience.
Isn't it?
Y'all
One,
guess hot
it's
pot.
like cast iron. You can, and then you put coals.
Yeah,
on
like
top
they got
of
the
it
like
and
the
below it.
super.
Just like when you go
have a
camping, you
Dutch
take
oven.
a Dutch oven. Pretty sure Dutch oven's also like an urban.
I
Let's
think
do
you're just
this
making
drawing
things up.
thing one last time.
I'm not.
We're doing it one last time. I'm still in the lead, guys.
All right.
Still in the lead, guys.
We'll get to where y'all can vote in a second.
Oh, this is difficult. Okay. goodness, this is very difficult. Oh no. Oh, this drawing. Okay, I'm in. Again, first.
Now that I've got all your drawings, it's time for some fun.
It's time for some fun. Are you guys having fun?
Now.
Oh.
What in the world is this?
What in the world is it?
Is this your drawing?
Yes.
This is terrible.
It's very hard to draw things from an aerial
one
view.
knows what this is.
Doom,
Thank you for
This is
giving us
one of the
away.
worst.
It's great once you see the prompts. You'll know that I actually really did a good job drawing this one once you see the prompts.
You sit on a throne of
Your
lies.
And that's how I know I did a good job. I know I did a fantastic job on this one.
Here's everybody's picks.
Oh my god!
How'd
You're
you
like,
know it was the great one?
you're like, because I drove the
figured.
arrow going straight into it. You guys,
How did you know it was a parking spot?
Mine
It
was the
looks
parking
so
space.
dumb.
You guys are like,
Clue.
oh, you suck, Amala, and then you guess exactly what I drew, and I drew it
Well, yeah,
perfectly.
once you have that,
Okay.
then it makes sense.
You suck so bad. Okay, well,
that
give
was
me your
terrible.
points. Give me your points then if I suck so bad.
And this one.
Oh, I suck?
This is
Oh,
great.
I
I
didn't draw
suck?
that. I didn't
Whoever
draw
drew
that.
this is a genius.
I'm glad they saved mine for last because it's art.
What is this?
Someone said a car going to bed. That is what it looked like. Hey!
And
Teenager
here are your
starter
choices.
pack. That's hilarious. If you're smart, you'll guess this correctly.
And here are your picks.
Oh, you guys are not smart.
Yes.
Gosh,
God.
very rude.
Amala,
Was
how did you
that
get
strikes
fooled by Will?
Will, I fooled Will too. He voted for me.
You guys are so
No,
dumb.
but yours was right. You didn't fit fooled.
What do you mean? I wasn't right. The right one is this one. Stuff.
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 I don't know about you, but
So-
I
What
What
love
would you have
drawing
drawn?
Stuff.
I just drew a bunch of random things that weren't connected to
That's
each
why I
other.
put a pizza karaoke party.
Yeah, that's why I put pizza party.
Oh my gosh. With a football and a baseball bat in it? That's supposed to be a rubber ducky at the
Just
top.
give me my points. Just give me my
I'm beating
points.
Taylor now.
You all right,
Now
too?
let's take a look
What?
at
Ew.
What is this?
It's my drawing.
Oh my gosh.
Choose wisely.
Choice is yours.
Choice is yours, my friends.
I'm going to intentionally guess this wrong so you don't get points.
Screw you. Guess it right.
Someone said Goku.
Or what's in his
Okay,
pants?
here are your choices.
Okay. I know there's no way I got this wrong. There's literally no way I got
Well,
this
yeah, because
wrong.
my drawings are so good.
No, it's not why.
It's because I'm so good at
All right.
artistry.
No, it's because it's an easy prompt. It's so easy.
Why would you vote for the wrong one on
Because I don't wanna
purpose?
give you points.
You are a loser.
It is very easy. There's no way Taylor
called
could have
strategy.
possibly put his answer in that time.
We should make T-shirts out of some of these.
You guys want a T-shirt with a cool guy with pissed pants?
Trying to be cool even though you just peed your pants. You guys want that on the
All right,
t-shirt?
here's the final results.
Oh my gosh, I crushed you. I literally crushed you. You're literally crushed.
I would have done better if I didn't pee my pants.
My noodle arms crush two grown.
Will takes losing so
Oppressive
poorly. How
white
does it
men.
feel to be a loser, Will?
I didn't lose. I got cheated.
Okay, no, Amala, you have to exit all the way out of the game and
Okay.
then launch Quiplash separately.
Okay.
Yeah, where's
We're
the
gonna
Go back
play.
to the beginning. All right, guys, you're going to be able to play on this one. It's going to be much better this time.
Yeah.
Much more entertaining.
Yes.
Somebody said I'm toxic in the comments, and to that I agree.
said you're toxic?
Because I'm like, I literally crushed you guys. How do I go to Quiplash?
It's in Steam.
I'm on Steam. Yes, yes, yes.
Let the boys
Oh,
figure it
I've
out.
got it.
Will's
I've
getting
got
up.
it. I've got it. You can play right here. Okay.
I knew you could do it.
I figure things out.
All right, you guys are going to be able to join this one in a second.
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
See, voila.
Once it loads,
You gotta pull it up, Amal.
I am doing exactly that. Okay.
All right.
You guys are going to be able to play this one once we are logged in and ready
it
to
goes.
go.
All right.
You guys are going to be able to vote as an audience. Okay. Will, put in your actual name so people know who you are.
I'm Amala's dad.
No. You're not my dad. You're not my dad. Okay, once Taylor gets in. Okay.
Like everyone's in, and then you can open it up to everyone. Here we go.
Everybody's in.
Okay, hold on.
All right,
1, 2, 3.
you guys can join the room now. Jackbox.tv on your phone.
Go to jackbox.tv and then enter ZD.
And now you'll be able to vote.
Then you can vote and play in the game.
Who's the
And I
funniest?
truly hope that you all consider me to be.
Go to jackbox.tv, type in ZDTN, ZDTN at jackbox.tv.
And come vote.
Come vote.
Come one, come all.
This is round one.
This one, we're all writing jokes, and whoever's the funniest, you vote for.
Yeah,
The
you vote for
funniest
the
one
funniest
wins.
one. So
I have a
you
feeling
guys should
I'm-
just quit now.
I don't think I'm going to do as well in this one. I'll be very honest.
Score based on the percentage of players who like your answer. Plus, there are winners bonuses at stake. Go.
Okay. We have our prompts now. We're putting in our answers.
Yeah, we'll be,
Okay.
we'll be voting for my joke for soon. Don't worry.
This is very difficult already.
Jeez.
I don't have an answer. Guys, I'm already losing. Okay. Okay, we're on our second prompts. I believe most of us are at least.
50 seconds left.
Okay.
Will's done.
Done.
I'm in.
Jackbox.tv/ZDTN. Well, not slash. You go to the website, Jackbox.tv, and then you enter ZDTN, and you can join.
Jackbox.tv. The code is ZDTN. You guys can join as audience members.
All right, get ready to
How about
vote.
Angle it more
a rock
towards me.
band made up entirely of baby ducks.
A rock band's
Okay.
made
pick
up
your
of
favorite.
baby ducks.
Oh my gosh,
Ducking
that's
around.
good. Ducking around.
Or
I know who put that
Quackstreet
in.
Boys.
I know
Quack
who-
Street Boys. That's funny.
That
too.
is really good. Okay, audience, you guys go and vote.
If you're in the room with us on your phone, Jackbox.tv, ZDTN, you can vote right now.
Jackbox.tv. Who wins?
There's the audience. Look at that.
Woo!
Dang it.
Split.
Let's go.
Nice.
42 to 13.
Jackbox.tv.
Quack Street Boys was very good. I am fine with losing to that one.
Next one.
I thought about it for a long
Secret to a
time.
happy life. Time to vote.
Okay, the secret to a happy life. You guys get to vote. Go to jackbox.tv. The code is ZDTN. Place your votes.
Neither of these were very funny. You guys didn't
People
do
are
a
going to
very
vote
good
for the
job.
mustache because they hate it.
No, people love the mustache.
51 people voted.
All right.
Oh,
an even split.
nice.
I will take it.
I'll take it just because it was a nice compliment.
I don't take this hate.
Next in line, everyone knows there's no such thing as blank. It's voting.
Oh, man. These are both great.
Okay, guys, place your votes. Jackbox.tv. Code
too
is
true.
ZDTN.
Both actually could work in a certain
Both
utopia.
could very much work. Go place your votes.
Dang it.
You can also.
Oh, come on.
Dang, that was so close. 34 to 35.
That was really close. 34-35.
Right, well, I'm losing.
That's all for round one.
That's all for round one, folks.
Someone said I don't have a spare device. I think you can go in your browser too.
Yes.
On
On
your
Safari.
computer, so you can use that as well. Just go to Jackbox.
Yeah, computer, iPad.
all of the
Linux.
things.
Two time, and to make it interesting, I'm doubling all the point values.
Points are doubled.
Points are doubled, guys. Don't mess
serious.
this up.
All right, we're writing our jokes now.
Okay. This is horrible. I'm so bad at this. I have no clue. No idea. I'm just putting in a stupid answer. Oh no.
Oh, jeez.
All right, we're right.
Okay. I got one good one. Okay, guys, if you guys want to join and vote, go to jackbox.tv. The code is ZDTN. Amala and Taylor, we're in. Will's waiting by the sidelines.
Come on, Slowpoke. What's going on over there?
Come on, Will.
You got 10 seconds.
7 seconds now.
Pressure's on.
Ooh, and he's in.
I'm in, baby.
The first prompt is...
Okay.
Come up with a name for a fast food chain that only serves rabbit meat.
Here are the answers. In and out of the rabbit hole or bunny bites. You guys place your votes.
Ew.
Bunny Bite sounds...
That sounds horrible. Place your votes, guys. Jackbox.tv, code ZDTN. Oh.
What?
Wow.
Audience.
Everyone liked bunny bites way better
That's
than your
interesting.
dumb rabbit hole.
I'm sorry that the audience doesn't know any better. Come on, audience.
I'm the real talent
Odd
here.
painting to hang
I
above your
couldn't.
bed.
I already know. I failed on this one.
Vote on your devices.
Can all of them
These are
not just
basically
be
the
about
same
my
thing.
mustache?
Is
that the only joke you know how to make,
I
Amala?
didn't make that joke. That wasn't me. That was Taylor.
You guys need to get some new material.
Jackbox.tv, code is ZDTN. ZDTN, place your votes. Where did the audience go? Oh, I already knew I was going to fail at that one, so it's
Sorry,
okay. I'll come in with the win on the next one. I
I'll
can
take
feel
that
it.
W.
I can feel it. Unless Will and I are ahead with each other on this one because I think we put the same
Name a new
thing.
movie starring a talking
I
goat who
doubt
is
we put the
president of the
same
United
thing.
States.
Okay.
Time to vote.
Okay, name a new movie starring a talking goat who is president of the United States. Ba, The Goat Biden Story, or CNN Every Night.
Guys, these are both terrible.
Shut up, Taylor.
Neither one of these is funny at all.
CNN Every Night is funny
Why is it funny?
because you don't have to name the movie. You can just
I
turn
was
on
talking
CNN.
about it and I forgot to vote, so it's all up to the audience.
Oh,
Taylor, you
my.
could have saved me.
Will White.
Will Wet. There we go. All right, finally, I won one.
Gosh, this is
First
unbelievable.
win.
And that's all for round two. Fire up the
By
scoreboard.
default.
Nice.
Yes.
I knew I was
Yes.
going to get crushed in this. It's okay. I accept it about
All right,
myself.
round 3. This is the one where it all matters.
Welcome to the last lash, the final round. Stakes are tripled. There's just one prompt, and you're all getting it.
The final
Our
countdown.
prompt is a terrible name for a king.
I have no idea. I have no idea. I suck. I just put in something that sucks. So it's okay.
All right, we're ready. Okay, in round 3, you get to award 3 votes. You can give them all to one answer or spread them out.
Taylor is crushing it. Yes, I am. Thank you.
Shut up,
Getting
Taylor.
money.
Taylor is crushing it. Place your votes, guys.
Good try, Amala.
I know. Wait, what do you think I put in?
You put in Princess.
I definitely put in Don Lemon, so take it back.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Look at
Well,
me.
that's just embarrassing.
Embarrassing at how much I'm going to smoke you guys. How good it is.
I put in Don Lemon.
Now Taylor's going to actively vote against mine.
I thought Don Lemon was yours, and I gave it 2 votes.
Thank you.
I do always split my vote, though.
Now
I died and then I voted instead.
Will's gonna find an extra batch of votes in the middle of the night.
Attaboy.
See, I gave you some love.
And
Thanks,
the audience
Taylor.
gave you a lot too.
Wow.
Yeah, because it was funny.
No, it really wasn't. You guys, I question you.
Wow, Will just strategically didn't give me any votes,
I gave you all 3 of
even
mine.
though you knew it was the funniest.
It was the funniest.
I'm only doing what you taught me.
That's all.
Just doing what you
Now
taught me,
for the
Dad.
final
Chestnut
scores.
checkers.
Oh, and I still lost.
Wow. Oh,
Wow. Go
Smoked
Taylor.
All right, so Amala, you won the first game. I won the second game.
Do we play
Will,
a
which
third?
game did you win?
I don't want to play anymore. This stupid game. I have
game
the
is
best
stupid.
answers all the time,
Well then,
and
guys.
no one chooses them.
Since Sour Boy Will,
Taylor
Sad Boy Will is
2024.
calling it.
I love it.
And it is 3:40. Thank you guys so much for watching Will and Amala live today. I hope you guys enjoyed.
Actually live today, by the way.
Actually, Will and Amala actually live today. I hope you guys enjoyed. We want to do a fun little interactive game with you guys today since it is our first time being back live in the studio for quite some time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, click the notification bell to be notified every single day when we go live, 2:30 PST, 5:30 Eastern. You can listen to us rather than watch on Google Play, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Leave us a 5-star review so that everybody knows you love the show and we know that you love the show. Also, join PragerFORCE if you are a student or young professional and you need like-minded friends. And join PrEP if you are a parent or educator who is looking for resources for your children or just a community of parents that likes to communicate what they're feeling in these crazy, crazy times we're living in. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Thank you. Peace.
Peace.
Bye.